All right, folks, we're back. We're gonna make a sour bread dough today. Here we've got our starter. It's been coming along nicely. We've got 250 grams of water, 25 grams of olive oil, 10 grams of salt, and 500 grams of King Arthur unbleached bread flour. So first we're just gonna mix together our wet here. Go ahead and get our olive oil in there. Go ahead and get our water in here. We're gonna go ahead and add our flour. Well, first we're gonna mix this up and then we're gonna add our flour. So I'm getting ahead of myself there. Now, there's lots of different varieties out there. This really kind of dissolves it up. So you can see, as I'm stirring this, this is starting to just kind of break down that dough. It smells absolutely wonderful with that olive oil in there. Just kind of get it nice and broken all up, preparing this for adding the flour. So, you know, I really like to take my time on this step. There we go. Make sure it gets all pretty well dissolved. And again, this is just our starter. A little bit of water, a little bit of olive oil. Okay, now we're gonna add our flour. And I just, you know, just dump it in there. Some people go slow. Don't really have time for that, folks. I'm not here to waste my time to be going real slow. And I've read some people add their salt after this step. Some people add it before. I'm gonna go ahead and just add it now. And that's all our ingredients, folks. You can see I'm just kind of working it through. Here in a minute, I'm gonna kind of work this with my hands, give it a little kneading. Just give it a little touch of the knead. It'll get nice and clumpy, and then we're just gonna set this aside for the first kind of rise, where we're just gonna start letting the gluten kind of break down and let this bread kind of go and let nature take over and do what nature does to this bread. And then we'll check back in about 30 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour here, when this will be a little easier to work with. See you then. All right, welcome back, folks. We are just now done letting this kind of sit for about 45 minutes. You can see our dough's in there. It's looking pretty good. We're just gonna go ahead and knead it here for a good 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm gonna kind of put it back into a ball, cover it with this moist towel, and I'm just gonna let it sit out here for quite a while. And I'm gonna probably cheat a little bit and put it in my oven, which has a proofing function, keeps it about 85 degrees. And that's really to speed up the fermentation. This is a natural yeast, so it's a little slower than the quick rise you might get at the store. So this could take up to half a day to rise, but by putting it in the oven at about 85 degrees on that proofing function, it's really gonna help accelerate that here on the back half of the evening, because it is about 1 o'clock here in Indiana, and as you can see, it's been snowing, so it's awfully cold here. So that's what we're gonna do, and we'll check back in this evening when we're ready to start baking. Okay, it's been about 7 hours now, and our dough has more than doubled in size now. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of go to the next step, and that's where it's gonna kind of get this out of here. Pull this sourdough out, nice. I've kind of got a really gently floured board here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of take it out, and I'm gonna fold it, kind of stretch it up, fold it down. I'm gonna do that on all 4 sides, just kind of pulling it, folding it, pulling it, folding it over, and then one last side here. I'll give it a nice stretch, and we'll fold it over. Now we're gonna kind of form it into a ball. Ball here. It's kind of, we kind of tuck that under. Kind of like to kind of swoop it around like this a little bit. Just kind of get it in there. You can see this is coming along well. So here we are. Nice and circular little ball. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in this Dutch oven. Something that's real important with sourdough bread is to make sure when you bake it, you put it in a container like this, where it's gonna have plenty of room to expand, one, but two, we're gonna trap the moisture in. So I think that's really important to keep that moisture in there. Now, We're actually gonna let this rise for another hour. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna cover it. I'm just gonna let it rise for one more hour, and then we'll check back in real fast and throw it in the oven. All right, folks, here we are again. We are going to, if you can see here, got the sourdough bread in the Dutch oven. We've gone ahead and cut a couple of slashes across the top, put a couple little decorative dots in there. That'll let the steam escape. We're gonna go ahead and toss this into the oven here in just a second. I've also got a second one. You can see this one I just cut just a normal line across the top on that one. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven. I'm preheating it right now to 450, but I'm actually gonna knock that temperature down to 400. Put them in there for 20 minutes, pop the lids off after that 20 minutes, and then cook them for another 40 minutes or so. And then we're gonna let these cool overnight, and we'll try them out tomorrow.